Hey everyone, I hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm recording this outside, so I apologize for any background noise ahead of time. So I just wanted to do a really quick solar eclipse update and then post a prayer request video. This is going up much later than I wanted it to. The last, I don't even know how long, it's just been so crazy intense for me, and I know everybody else, so my videos are all delayed. And for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. I periodically like to post these call to action prayer requests videos as a way for us to utilize our abilities and do what we were incarnated here for, which is to bring love, peace, and harmony to the planet, and use our unique gifts to connect with Source, to ask for specific things, and to bring specific healing to the planet. So this is open to anyone who would like to participate. You don't necessarily have to be a twin flame or a light worker. If you've stumbled upon my channel and you want to participate, anyone's willing to participate. And as always, if there is a cause that you guys would like to bring healing or attention to, you can email me or write it below in the comments, and I will be happy to bring forth your idea. So this current prayer request is going to be for the harvest moon on September 6th. This is a very powerful day. It's actually the day I met my twin flame was on a harvest moon years ago, 2014. But this is a very powerful day because it's the last full moon before the fall equinox, and it's a powerful day for setting your intentions and for what it is you basically would like to eventually harvest. So the seeds that are planted on that day are really quite powerful. So I would love to use this day to bring forth this particular call to action that I'm going to speak of, and then moving forward, I'd like to use the fall equinox to do the next one. So if you guys have any ideas for the next one, please let me know, and I will get that video up sooner than later. So, all right, so let's talk about, you know what, I actually want to talk about the eclipse first before I mention the prayer request ideas. I have to be honest, I'm still a bit out of it. I am, in case you couldn't tell already, the last, I don't know how it was for you guys. I'm sensing I'm not alone here, but the last, I would say, week and a half or so have been so crazy. I feel like this eclipse hit me out of nowhere. I thought I was ready for it. I was excited for it, and my vibration, I do a good job of keeping my vibration high, my frequency high, and I was just seriously hit by a ton of bricks. So being as though it was in Leo, and my twin sign is in Leo, I'm just curious, guys. Let me know in the comments section, when anytime there's a big transit in your twin's sign, do you experience it heavier than normal, as if maybe you're purging for them? Because that's what I noticed that I experience. I don't have Leo anywhere in my chart, and anytime there's something in Leo going on, I am like a disaster. So I feel like I do a lot of purging for him, which I don't mind, because I don't mind purging for him. He's my twin. I love him. And if there's any way that I could, take the load off of his back, I'll do it. But being as though this was the big event, the solar eclipse, like it was just, I had a major headache. Just lots of stuff going on, and I feel like I am just now getting back to, I don't know, some sense of normalcy. So let me know too, guys, how you fared through it all, and if it was what you were expecting, what you weren't expecting. I want to talk a little bit about the tarot cards that came up in the last reading that were for basically this week, or the week that just passed, I should say, the week ending when we had the eclipse. Because it's kind of interesting. I pulled the tarot card, the Tower card for the Divine Masculine, and the Death card for the Divine Feminine, and I was definitely feeling both of those energies this last week. Probably more the Tower than the Death card. And as I mentioned in that reading, they're both very similar energies in that they bring forth really tremendous change, although one is a little bit more harsher, you can say, than the other, the way that change is brought about. And it felt like I was purging for the collective as well. It was just lots of intense energies going on. And it felt like as well, and I know I mentioned this too in my part 1 of that last reading that I posted, that I was shown in a meditation that we were shown different doorways basically, and that this eclipse, is acting as a portal per se, and it's up to us to kind of choose the optimum timeline, the optimum doorway. And it really felt like we were being asked to purge every last bit of fear and trepidation and whatever, karma, whatever that needed to be left behind that couldn't go with you. We were being asked, very quickly to get rid of it before being kind of squeezed, like sandwiched through this doorway, this portal, if you will, And it was so uncomfortable. It was so ungodly uncomfortable. And I could sense I was not alone in it. I could sense the collective in there, And I mean, nightmares, purging, this, that. I was like, where is this coming from? And it just felt like I was being squeezed, like we were all being squeezed through this doorway, and we just had to leave all the the muck behind, all the crap at the door, basically. And I was thinking, I was like, wow, that really is very much what the Tower asks of us, what even the Death card speaks of us, And it's a positive thing because we entered that transformative portal, this is such a very, very, very powerful time of transformation, and I could feel it for so many, and we have so much to be thankful for and excited about, as uncomfortable as it can feel sometimes, because sometimes change and being forced to change in a small period of time and being forced to look at things you don't really want to look at or you thought you were done looking at, can be quite uncomfortable. And it was a powerful eclipse, let's face it, besides all that other stuff. So so give yourself a pat on the back if you made through it. And it definitely feels like now that we're on the other side of it, things feel a bit lighter and a little bit more freer and brighter, which again kind of reminds me of what came up for the Divine Feminine for this week, which was the 3 of Cups card. So it feels like we're moving into that, like we can just take a breath of fresh air, we can kind of relax again. We went through the toughest part of it, and it was interesting too because it was, now I'm trying to think now. I think it was the day before the eclipse, I want to say. Now I can't remember, but I want to say it was the day before the eclipse. We had a little bit of a storm here, and I noticed that in 3 different parts of the sky, one section of the sky was all gray. There was like lightning bolts and whatever. Another section of the sky, there was almost a half rainbow. I mean, it was enormous. It was almost at like 50%. And then another section of the sky, the sun was setting, and in the west, obviously, and it was just the most beautiful sunset, and there was just such an interesting like juxtapositions of energies and just different things that were going on all at the same time in the same sky. And it just made me realize that all of these different energies, they coexist. They can coexist. Sometimes they have to coexist, and it's okay. It's all beautiful in the end. It's all energy. And it just reminded me of the quote, something like you can't get the rainbow without the rain, you know, and it just reminded me of that. And because I was definitely feeling, I mean, the days leading up to the eclipse, that's when I was feeling it the most. I was like, what the heck is going on? This was so much harder than I thought it would be. And it just reminded me of that quote. So it was just really beautiful, and it was just so perfect, the setting for what I was feeling inside, because there is this feeling of just great joy, great excitement on the horizon. Like, you can feel it, you know. And I mean, I'm speaking way beyond twin flame union. That's exciting in and of itself, of course, but I'm speaking of the transformation that's happening within all of us collectively, within Gaia. Just feeling these really intense Christ energies even more than ever before. It's just, I don't know, it's hard to kind of put into words sometimes what it is that I feel is coming for us, but I know it's coming, and I know that that's why it was so important for us to make that big internal shift. Again, the Tower card, the Death card that we both, Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, received for that week. So, what else did I want to say for that? Hang on tight with me for a sec, guys. It's starting to get dark out here, so now I can't see my notes. The other thing I wanted to say was too, I thought it was kind of interesting that the eclipse happened on August 21st, which a lot of people believe that Jesus Christ was actually born on that day. So maybe that had something to do with it too. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't there obviously when he was born. Who knows? Maybe he was. But it just felt extra powerful. So let's get into what I wanted to talk about with us, the prayer requests. We had a few requests come in, and then there's something that I would like to add at the end. The first request comes in about praying for basically restoring balance to the U.S. economy. And if you live outside of the U.S., you can apply this to your country, of course. But as this twin flame had noted, that in her city in particular, for instance, rent went up threefold in just the last several years, but yet, you know, wages are not increasing, and it's making people become a little bit more bitter, she's noticing, and people are lashing out and being mean to each other, just trying to deal with the day-to-day struggles of making ends meet. And she wants us to pray for some sort of resolve to this. And I know, despite what the media has to say and everything else, I don't really think the economy, the U.S. economy or the global economy, is doing as great as our administration likes to say that it is. I see the rich getting richer, the poor getting poorer, the middle class are just being kind of pushed out. There is not so much thing as a middle class anymore. And the situation, I don't see it as far as the trajectory that we're on right now, again, with the current administration, not to get too political, but I don't think that a billionaire in office has the rest of the lower and middle class. I don't really think he has our best interests in mind. So that being said, there doesn't seem to be a resolve or an end to this anytime soon. So this is where I feel like our prayers come in and our power comes in to help everybody out, to help out our fellow brothers and sisters, to try and find some sort of resolve to this issue. And anytime you have any type of economic decline, food supply always suffers, water supply suffers. Our food and water supply is very, very contaminated for an array of reasons. But as the economy continues to decline, or at least not improve, I don't see that improving either. So that is definitely a concern as well. The second objective here is from another twin flame. She wants to pray for Antarctica. Just recently, I think it's like a trillion-ton size iceberg splintered off from the continent, basically the size of Delaware. And just recently, too, they discovered 91 volcanoes underneath the continent of Antarctica with global warming and such. Obviously, the continent is not doing too well as as the wildlife who exists on it and the fauna that exists there. So if we could pray for that as well, that would be really appreciated, guys. And I also would love to keep Barcelona, the people of Barcelona, in our hearts during this call to action prayer. Barcelona is such a beautiful, wonderful, magical city. I've had the pleasure of going there some years ago, and let's all pray for those people in Spain. And also, I want to just quickly touch on the events that happened again leading up to the eclipse. I don't think there's any coincidence here, what had happened down in Charlottesville. It just felt like the energies all over the world really were just kind of bubbling up and really boiling up before this eclipse. And I would love for us to keep Heather higher in our hearts, to pray for some sort of resolve to this racial divide that exists in this country, and probably, well, I shouldn't say probably, but really worldwide. I don't think that the president's comments helped matters at all. I was really very sickened and saddened by his unclear statements and his lack of just forming a formidable statement against white supremacy. That was really very disheartening to know that I live in a time when, we elected the first African-American president, and then we downgraded to this. It's really, really, really very, very sad. I was very upset to see that. So let's pray for some sort of resolve there as well, guys. I think that that's all I wanted to say for this call to action. I'm being bitten pretty bad by mosquitoes here, so I'm going to end this video, and I want to thank you guys so much for listening and for participating. And again, this is going to be for September 6th for the harvest moon. I'm going to keep actually the time open for this because I know we're all in different time zones here. So whenever you get to it that day, I'm assuming that we're probably all going to be doing it at different times depending on where we live. So I'm kind of picturing throughout the day we'll just be really kind of bombarding the planet, with our love and healing. So I think that will be really powerful. And of course, you can bring your own intentions to the healing as well. Anything you would like to pray for, just know that there's going to be many other twin flames and light workers around the world who are going to be also contributing their healing and prayers on the same day. So I hope you guys are all doing really well. Again, let me know if you have any ideas that you'd like to pray for in the future. You can write them down below. I love you all. Hang in there, guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.